and welcome. 247.net presents Not Just Cricket. And as you can see, we've got Mohammad Azruddin in the house. He's just getting his camera fixed. Give us 2 minutes, but on the other side, we've got Lalshan Rajput. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the show. Double headers are back, and so are we.
Yeah, I think it will be an interesting day for us today because Mumbai Indians looking for their first win.
They indeed are. I mean, the two matches that we have, you've got one side right in the afternoon, you've got Mumbai going up against Lucknow, and then on the other side, you've got Delhi versus Bangalore. Now, we'll talk about Delhi and Bangalore, where these two teams are sort of making it to the title, have been wanting to make it to the title. On the other hand, you've got Mumbai, who's made it so many times, but right now winless. And then you've got a Lucknow, a brand new team in the Indian T20 League, looking very, very strong. So I'm going to start, Lalshan, so you've already set the prelude that Mumbai needed its first win. But now we've seen them do this. But if the flight has to have some fight, it has to be now.
Yeah, as I said earlier also, because this year we have got 10 teams, So
Yeah.
if you start losing too often, that's very difficult to catch up. So now is the time because 5 matches have gone. This is the 6th game. If you don't start getting that win, I think then you will be struggling. Today, again, on Brabourne Stadium, it's a good pitch because we have seen that if you bat well, you'll get a big score. Team, if you bat first, you've got to get near 200 plus. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you to contain when some teams are chasing. And Lucknow, on the other hand, are on a roll because they are got that momentum. They are started winning. They have won, 3 games out of 5. So they have, started winning. So I think they are having a good momentum. But for Mumbai, they have to think out of the box because earlier also they have lost 4 to 5 games and then they have started. They have won the championship. So this might be another year because as we hear that Surya Kumar Yadav said that's the rebuilding process. Every team goes through that rebuilding process. I bet you. But you can't start losing every game. That's not on. So I'm sure there must be a formula. They must have thought something about it. How we can win. There might be some changes as well. New faces you can see. Get some luck to the team because once you have some new players, they might get some luck and start winning. So hopefully this is the day for them to get that points to tick off.
Yeah, that's how Mumbai have lost their couple of 5 games. And if you see Lucknow out there, they've lost by narrow margins. Azhar sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
When we spoke about luck for Mumbai and a formula for Mumbai, what could that be today?
But I think as far as I see, the formula is I think you have to play some new players now because, like for example, when I was talking the other day, I was talking to many people like Arjun Tendulkar also, should be given a chance, because he's done so well. He's got a place in the side. He's been selected to play for the Mumbai team. So I think when you should give them a chance, maybe the name of the Tendulkar name on the field might bring them good luck today.
Yes, and what about chance for David, for Tim David? जिसको उन्होंने 5 करोड़ में खरीदा था.
That's right. अब इतना प्लेयर्स को अगर इतने उसमें खरीद रहे तो उसके बावजूद अगर आप खिला रहे नहीं तो उसका फिर कोई फायदा ही नहीं इतने ज्यादा खरीदने में. मैं समझता हूँ कि मुंबई टीम बॉलिंग उतना स्ट्रांग उनका है नहीं क्योंकि अगर आप देखेंगे तो उनका जो ड्राफ्ट तो हुआ बिल्कुल पूरा बैटिंग पैक्ट हो गई. उसमें बॉलर तो बिल्कुल है नहीं एक्सेप्ट बिकॉज दे आर ओवर डिपेंडेंट ऑन बुमराह बिकॉज इफ बुमराह डजंट डू वेल nobody does well. I mean, you can't put so much pressure on Bumrah as well, because he's also a human being. I mean, sometimes he can also go for run. But as I said, maybe they can start the first over with Bumrah because I feel that because if he comes in second change, sometimes in a couple of overs the batsman is set. You give 20 runs or in 2 overs, then it makes a big impact because the batsman is already on the roll. So I think Bumrah should be. They should start the innings when if he's bowling. And I think, as I've said, Mumbai has nothing to lose now from here. They have everything to gain.
That is true actually. एक बहुत interesting point उन्होंने mention किया है लालचंद सर कि आप बुमराह से start करें because batsmen settle हो जाते हैं जब तक वो आते हैं.
Yeah, see, if you have a newer bowler who has to take wickets, see कैसे है ना रिद्धिमा कि आपको नया बॉल में विकेट लेना है पहले. अगर आप नहीं लेते then you make the batsman set. और once the batsman is set, then they go for big scores. तो आपको जो पहले बैट्समैन सेट होने के पहले उनको आउट करना है और वो आपके पास आपका जो बेस्ट बॉलर है वो बुमराह है उनको नया बॉल से 1 या 2 ओवर करवाना चाहिए बिकॉज यू कैन गेट दैट अर्ली विकेट. इफ यू डोंट गेट अर्ली विकेट देन यू हैड अ लॉन्ग डे इन द फील्ड देन. सो दैट्स वन थिंग. प्लस एज अजर सेड टीम डेविड को इतने महंगे में लिया है. मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा है कि इतने महंगे लेके उसको बिठा रहा है बेंच पे. सो आई थिंक इट्स अगेन uh, waste of a player who has been, because he has got a decent, this thing in T20s, even in Big Bash. If you look at that, he has done reasonably well. Uska strike rate अच्छा है, 153 plus, even T20s में 141. I think he has got a very good, decent, batting performance. So hopefully उसको भी try कर सकते हैं. So आपको आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स सोचना ही है आज. आप वो जैसे कहते हैं ना कि कंप्यूटर में डाल दिया और वो सेम कि ये ओपन करेगा, ये बैटिंग 3 नंबर करेगा, 4 नंबर, ऐसे नहीं. यू हैव टू हैव सम चेंजेस, देन ओनली आई थिंक वंस यू आर बोल्ड इनफ देन यू विल बी लकियर एज वेल. सो लक वैसे ही आएगा. और मे बी अजहर ने कहा कि तेंदुलकर का नाम है, अर्जुन तेंदुलकर खिलाओ, मे बी यू विल गेट दैट लकी विन टुडे and get that luck what Mumbai is looking for.
Yes, if the youngsters is on field ka pata nahi, but social media for sure is going to be on fire. That much I can tell you.
No,
But
it's not a question of on fire, because it's simple, because you don't have to. If you have players, you can't just make them sit all along and then carry on for all full team, and that is injustice to the player as well.
yeah, correct. But also, as I said, you see, there's a
And
case
you
to
are
bring
playing
in.
many matches. It's not the only 4 or 5 matches where you're going.
Exactly, true that. 26th match in the IPL right now. This one case, is there a case to bring in Markande for Ashwin Azhar, sir?
Case to bring?
In Markande for Ashwin.
Yeah, definitely, because even you've tried Ashwin also, but as I've said, if the things are not happening, it's better to play some new players. As I've already said, they have nothing to lose, they have to win. Maybe with the young players, your different players. Sometimes I think most of the teams have not played them, so it makes a big impact. As I've said, but I think having said that, Mumbai let too many of their good players go away. Actually, they had a very good side, and like Lalu was telling me that Surya Khan Yadav was saying that you are rebuilding the team. But I think you can building a team if you have good talented players as well. Because if you let so many players go, then you can't rebuild the side. It's very difficult because you don't have those type of players who are very skillful. Like for example the Pandya brothers, Quinton de Kock. They let all these players go because they had done so well. Even Bolt as well. So I think these are the things, because they had a very good side, they had a very set side. But I sincerely, I really don't know, how they could slip on these things.
That's right. Well, we know of Mumbai to be like a phoenix. They do rise from the ashes, so we'll just have to wait and watch. But having said that, लालचंद सर लखनऊ की बात करें तो अगर हमने देखे उनके मैचेस जो उनके recent losses हुए बहुत narrow losses हुए. I think last loss उनका सिर्फ 12 रन से था. तो do they look like a team where all bases are covered या कुछ नया कर सकते हैं आज?
See, it's a new team. And the way they started, it looked like a well-unit team because you take 1 or 2 games to get used to it, get the players, and then have a very good cohesive unit. I think they have really started off well. See, if you look at their losses, they just lost, by 12
By
runs,
3 runs.
3 runs.
Last,
So
yeah.
these two losses are, I think it could have gone either way. So I don't think they have to worry about it because it could have been a win as well if they had, So they are high on their, in motivation and plus the positiveness. And I'm sure, I think this will be a cracker of a game because KL Rahul loves to play against Mumbai Indians. I'm telling you because he has scored most of his runs against Mumbai. And Bumrah, I think they will be looking at Bumrah to get that initial breakthrough. But the only weak link against Mumbai is their bowling attack. There's too much, as Azhar said, too much of pressure on Bumrah, and their spin department is, I think, very weak because last time they had Char, that leg spinner, then they had Kunal, but this year I think they are really struggling for quality spinners. They are. So that's the weak link there, and plus the fast bowlers because both used to complement well with the Bumrah, but now Bumrah has got no other bowler to really put that pressure on the batsman, and too much we are asking from Bumrah as well. So it is a really tough situation for Mumbai. The only way I feel they can win is on their batting, and that is because the top 4, 2 guys have to bat deep. That's very important. Rohit Sharma has to play a long innings. He has to bat 15 overs, or Ishan Kishan has to bat 15 overs. Surya is batting very well because he is in good nick. And Pollard, who is a finisher, he is not, I think, doing very well at the moment, but he can come back very strongly anytime. For a West Indian batsman, they just need one knock and they will win the game for you. So hopefully that comes true, true for Mumbai Indians today. But the key is the top 2 batsmen have to bat big and long.
Yes, indeed. So हम आपको की बैटल तो डेफिनेटली दिखाएंगे, लेकिन उससे पहले अगर अगर लखनऊ की बात करें तो उस तरफ है क्विंटन डिकॉक, एंड लाइक वी वर मेंशनिंग दैट दे मुंबई हैज लेट गो ऑफ टैलेंट, वन ऑफ देम बीइंग क्विंटन डिकॉक, एंड ही इज गोइंग टू बी वांटिंग टू परफॉर्म इन दिस फ्रंट ऑफ टीम एंड आल्सो सॉर्ट ऑफ पनिश देम, यू थिंक?
Definitely, because he has got to play well. Whichever team he goes, I mean, to whoever picks him, he has to do justice to his talent, his justice to his skill. But I think, you definitely go very hard on them because, as I said, both the teams have really not been up to the mark. Lucknow have lost games very narrowly, but a loss is a loss at the end of the day. But I think both the teams, as Lalu said, that it's going to be a very cracker of a game. But I think both the teams have nothing to lose and everything to win. So hopefully, we don't want some team to really do very, very bad, because we want Mumbai also to win games, because then it makes a big this thing in the tournament. But then if one or two teams doesn't do well, then it doesn't augur well for both for that team. But as I have said, as if Mumbai has to do well, I totally and fully agree with Lalu, that two players have to play, till the 15 over, and Rohit Sharma is the main, because if he stays on the wicket, then there's a chance of Mumbai winning. But I think, having said that, the two youngsters have really done well, Tilak Verma and Bravis, because they're just youngsters, they don't have much experience. They're playing first time in the IPL in such a major tournament that's coming right from the under 19. But I think they've really done well. The last match, Mumbai, they had the game in their hands. But I don't know. When you keep losing wickets, then you lose the game. That's what happened actually.
That's right. Now we've heard from both the experts कि आज रोहित शर्मा का टिकना बहुत जरूरी है, तो कहाँ आउट कर रहे हैं ऑपोजिशन उन्हें, वो हम जानेंगे नंबर्स ट्रैकर पर. दिस इज नंबर्स ट्रैकर पावर्ड बाय Sky 247.net. All right. The opposition has done a pretty good job so far keeping Rohit Sharma under the cap. और ये देखिए, this is the breakdown of his dismissals. अजीज अगर ये देखें तो आप पहले 3 मैचेस में शॉर्ट बॉल, फोर्थ मैच में स्लो डिलीवरी एंड देन अगेन शॉर्ट बॉल. इनफैक्ट I would like to ask you that in your time, when you were not being able to convert starts, what did you do differently in the 20s and the 30s?
Well, I think the most important thing is that, you have to have a good temperament. Like, for example, when you get out in 20s and 30s, that means there is, lack of patience, because you're not trying to be patient, because a player like Rohit Sharma, even if he plays 1 or 2 overs maiden, it really doesn't matter. He can really do well in the last game, especially when, as a batsman, when you're playing, when you're batting 60 and batting in the 17th or 18th or 19th over in the last 3 or 4 overs. The bowler is scared to bowl to you because you already set and you can score more runs. So I think with Rohit Sharma, he's got out 4 times to pull shot and a cut shot. So I think now he has to restrain those shots, because those shots are not giving him runs. I know they had given him runs in the previous matches. He's an important, very good stroke player. He's a very good player of short pitch bowling. But sometimes, you have to curb your natural instincts at times. Then he has to, even if he just, struggle and get those runs. Slowly, even if he plays slowly, but him remaining on the wicket and then getting the team along, I think it's the most important thing, because he has to stay at the wicket. If you don't stay at the wicket, you don't score runs, because then you will be sitting inside and watching somebody else scoring runs.
That's true. Laljin sir, on the more of his dismissals that we just saw, क्या adjustments कर सकते हैं वो?
See, देखिए, that was his strength, because he's very good on short ball. He has scored heavily on those shots as well. Sometimes what happens, your strength becomes a weakness. So then you have to really start working on it, as Azhar said, because as a batsman, you got to really look at that, I have to curb my, instinct on the short ball. I'll wait for that short ball later on. Let me just leave those balls. Even if you, like Azhar said, even if you play 1 or 2 overs, maiden, I don't mind, because Rohit Sharma is too good a player to even play a maiden over, because he is a touch and classy player, because he will get runs. The only thing is that he has to think and say and mentally be prepared. No, I want to bat 15 overs. I want to stay on the wicket, because Rohit Sharma staying on the wicket makes a lot of difference than a youngster or a Tilak Verma who is now just new staying on the wicket, because people have got that thing where Rohit can win the game from any position. So he has to mentally prepare himself. Initially I will leave the short balls. I will just not play those shots. I will wait unless I get onto the 40s and 50s, and then I will. Because if you look at earlier scores when he played in Bengal, I think he got a brilliant 100. But the first,
Yeah.
10 overs, he was hardly 50 or 40 runs. But then he got 100 in the next 10 overs or 7 overs. So he has got that ability, but only thing he has to be mentally prepared that I want to stay long till the 15th or 17th over.
Yeah, but how difficult does it get for him? Because he's quite an instinctive player. Azhar sir?
See,
Or Rohit
yeah,
or whoever. Yeah.
yeah,
No,
instinct you got to, because instinct takes over, because see, every batsman has got their own shots, best shots. Like Azhar used to play flick shot, because even if you bowl on off term, he will play that because that was his natural shot. So it's the same thing with Rohit. It's a natural shot, but sometimes what happens, that natural shot you have to curb it because you're not getting through it. So you got to curb that your natural instinct, and for that, you again, I'll come back to that mental toughness, that you got to be strong enough to know. I'll just give an example. Sachin Tendulkar in Australia, he was getting out, playing cover drive and getting out. First 4 test matches, his average was less than 10 runs. People were talking, they were writing you off that, Sachin is not the same. He's getting out. Bradley used to bowl outside the off term, he used to drive, go for a drive and caught behind. In the last test match, then people, they all talk, and they said that no, don't play a cover drive. You won't believe he never played a cover drive till he got 250 runs, because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
he curbed his instinct. So big players do that. They have that temperament to do that, but only thing, they have to talk to themselves that no, I'm not going to play that shot. So it is possible. It is not impossible, but only thing, you got to make sure that it happens and curb your instinct.
That's right, 241 in Sydney. Okay, we were talking about key batters in this match. It's going to be a cracker of a match. Key batters पे एक नजर डालते हैं कि what are the key batters that are there in today's match. The first one I think is Surya Kumar Yadav versus Bishnoi. अगर आप देखें तो this is Surya Kumar Yadav versus Ravi Bishnoi. Who has an upper hand here, Lalchan sir?
See, Bishnoi is a quicker bowler, because he bowls
Yeah.
fastest leg spin. And if you look at this thing, he has got out twice, and I think even the strike rate is less because he has not got much runs, Surya Kumar. But nevertheless, Surya Kumar is a very good player of spin bowling, especially leg spinner, left-arm spinners. He plays inside out. He plays over extra cover. He plays the sweep shot. He plays the slow sweep as well, and he's a very good, player of the spin bowling. But if somebody bowls a little bit quicker, because he doesn't give that much time, Vishnu doesn't give that much time for the bowler batsman to come out or drive, or he hurries the batsman. So that's what makes difficult for Surya Kumar Yadav. But Surya has to little bit be patient again. Don't go after the Vishnu, because as a batsman you want to go after the bowler early on, because you don't want the bowler to settle down. So you take that first initiative, and in that you lose wickets. So it is a very key battle for them, both of them, because Vishnu has got him twice, but Surya Kumar will love to take him one step ahead and get a big score in this game.
That's true. But also the sample size is very small. The next key battle, let's take a look at that. I think KL Rahul versus Jasprit Bumrah. Azhar sir, अगर हम इस पे नजर डालें तो Jasprit Bumrah has got KL Rahul out thrice, but 115 runs in the matches played between the two
I think
teams.
these are figures,
Yeah.
I mean, they look very good, when they put it, because I think both of them are very good players. I mean, there is going to be a battle definitely, because there will be a keen tussle between both bat and ball. So I think whoever does well on a particular day, always does well. Because if I as a batsman, if I go thinking that Bumrah has got me out 3 times, and then if that plays in your mind, then I'm already out inside the dressing room.
Yeah.
Because you have to go out there and enjoy the game, because both of them are outstanding players. Both of them have been playing for India for a long time, and they definitely they want to be one up on another. So I think it's going to be a very good battle. As long as Bumrah bowls in the initial stages, maybe Rahul might maybe one over or something like that. He has to be alert, because Bumrah is one bowler. He can always if you give him a chance, he get after one week, get 2 or 3 wickets very quickly. But I think as I just want to make a point on Lalu's thing also, that Surya Kumar Yadav, same thing is happening with him also. Like Mumbai is too much dependent on him also, because no other team is scoring runs. So there's too much pressure on him. Because I think in the last game also, he almost won the game for Mumbai, but it's only because of the pressure that the other batsman is not scoring runs. Then he had to go for it. If the other batsman scores, at least I mean, if he scores 10 or 12 runs, another batsman scores 3 or 4 runs in an over, I think there won't be any pressure on him. So I think the same case, only the two players are always under pressure to perform. Because whenever you go into Mumbai now, because he knows Surya Kumar that, I mean, he's the one who has to really do well. I mean, everything will fall on him. But sometimes he will definitely do well, but that time there comes the pressure where even the best of the players have succumbed to the pressure. So I think that is what is happening with Bumrah and Surya Kumar. I think they are main players. If Rohit, I mean, gets going, then Mumbai will definitely win many matches because with the two youngsters who are very good players, the Brevis and Tilak Verma also has been doing very well.
That is true. Yeah, of course, Deval Brevis, AB Baby is also doing really well. There are plenty of players that need to step up for Mumbai to win the match tonight. But having said that, that was numbers tracker जो कि define किया of how the game might look from the numbers point of view. Numbers tracker powered by Sky247.net. ओके देखिए नंबर्स तो हमने देख लिया साथ ही साथ ऑफ कोर्स एक
Right? Ridhiva, I want to ask.
I think Vidhima's this thing Wi-Fi has gone. I think Azhar, आप ही बात कर
no
रहे
no no it's here I'm here.
Ridhiva,
Yes sir.
I want to ask one thing. Why do
Yeah,
they
sure.
call him baby AB de Villiers?
Baby AB is because of the way he plays is very similar to that of ABD.
He
That
must change his name from Brevis to baby AB.
this is fans का प्यार है ये बस और कुछ
I
नहीं.
was just wondering why. I mean, AB de Villiers became what he was after so many years.
I know, but the guy was also very, said it so many times that he's trying to emulate of course, the great all-rounder batsman, AB de Villiers. So that's the reason why he's called ABV. But having said that, हमने fans की बात की तो social media की भी बात कर लेते हैं. You've got the social tracker here, powered by Sky247.net. Let's take a look. All right, gentlemen, social media पे तो हम सब हैं and of course that keeps buzzing with all the matches that are going on. The Indian T20 League has of course started off with a bang after the pandemic in the country, and here we have it. Match day, KL against Mumbai Indians in the Indian T20 League. 14 innings, 661 runs, 66.10 average, strike rate 128 plus, 550s, 1 century, high score 100 plus. Most innings against a team in the IPL without getting out on a single-digit score. KL Rahul versus MI. अब देखिए, not a good sight for Mumbai जिस तरीके के KL Rahul के records हैं against Mumbai यहाँ पर. Surya Kumar Yadav has said Mumbai Indians are in a rebuilding mode. This team is for the future. You'll see great players coming out in few years from MI. Lalchan said the Surya Kumar Yadav ने ही बोल दिया. So we should take it a little lightly on Mumbai then.
नहीं मुझे लगता है कि उसने जो स्टेटमेंट दिया उससे you can make out कि वो प्रेशर में already है, because if you say that you team for the future, then you don't have to compete this year, no?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that means you already succumb to pressure. I think these statements look good on TV, but I feel as a team, I think it doesn't argue well for the team's sake. Yes, everybody has got a team for the future, but at the moment you got to say positive about your team, that how you're going to win, and
Right.
what will be the combination, and who are the players who are looking for that to win the game. Because if you look at the future, then yes, because we'll say that next 3 years we are not going to win, we're going to make a team for the future. It doesn't argue very well for the team as well. But yes, I think maybe because Jofra is not there, because he's not going to play, and they have still taken him, so he's going to play in the future team as well. So there are
Correct.
players like youngster Tilak Verma. I'm very much impressed with him. The way he bats, very confident. Yes, he's looking very good. He's a future player as well. Brevis, I think he's fantastic player, because he emulates AB. People are talking. I'll just narrate one incident about AB, because Brevis. AB de Villiers actually coaches him as well, because he goes to him. That's how he has developed a liking for AB and bats like AB. If you look at his shots, even if he tries to hit, he keeps his head down. He never lifts it up, because that's how he wants to play like AB. And he has got a very good hand-eye coordination as well. So he is also a very good player for the future for South African point of view as well. So we got to hear him in the future. I think he will play for South Africa one day. Looking at the youngsters, yes, these are the guys who are really keen. But at the moment, they have to have a formula to win. Don't talk about future teams. That have to look at how they can win those matches. That's very important for me.
Well, that's right. Okay, we will talk about, of course, AB Baby, and we'll see and keep an eye of how he performs today. But अभी देखते हैं कि आपको, I'm sure, tips चाहिए होंगे कि आप अपनी fantasy gaming में team कैसे बनाएं. So this is a fantasy tracker powered by Sky247.net. All right, Lajan sir, I hear that you are on it and you made a team. So your captain Surya Kumar Yadav, your vice captain is KL Rahul. Please explain the choices here.
I think the reason why I have made Surya Kumar Yadav captain, because he's been batting brilliantly this season. He's the go-to guy, I would say. That's the reason why I have kept Surya Yadav, because I know him because he's from Mumbai and I have seen him as a captain as well. So that's the reason why KL Rahul, the vice captain, because he's also in good nick, I would say. Rohit Sharma, I have let him alone with captaincy because I want him to score. That's the reason why I have said that he should not be captain, so that he's relieved from that tension or pressure, so that he bats freely. Ishan Kishan, I think another left-hander who has got really good stroke play. Quinton de Kock, I think one of the best wicket-keeper batsmen we have at the moment. Tilak Verma, as I said, I think he's the talent I am looking at. Bravi, same thing, the junior talent. Huda, who has played really well in a couple of games. He's a brilliant fielder. He can bat. He can give you 1 or 2 overs as well. So that's the reason why I picked him. Bumrah for his bowling, because he's a match winner. Avesh Khan, another guy, I think people are not taking him very seriously. He's a very good bowler as well, because if you see last year T20, I think he did exceptionally well. And this year also he has started off well. And Bishnoi, I think he's a go-to guy because he's a brilliant fielder. He can give you, wickets in the middle overs, and then he can bat as well. But basically, he is very lively on the field because he takes some extraordinary catches and he'll give you good breakthroughs. This is my fantasy team as well.
इंटरेस्टिंग. मैं आपको बता दूं कि कैप्टन वाइस कैप्टन के दुगने पॉइंट्स होते हैं, कैप्टन के दुगने और वाइस कैप्टन के 1.5. Azhar sir, if you had to pick somebody else, who would it be?
In that team?
Yeah, or in your team, if you had to make any changes in the team.
In Mumbai?
No, in your fantasy team. Fantasy team.
Fantasy team, I've already said, I can't remember. They said they wanted a graceful side, so I gave you a graceful side. So because maybe if you had said fantasy team, I would have given a different side. But they said, players who are very graceful, you name them. So that's why I named them. I think I stick to whatever I said.
Okay, all right. Well, if you had to pick a bowler today, Lajan sir, I've seen that you've never picked a captain or vice captain in a bowler. Wickets also getting you a lot of points. In terms of fielding also you get a lot of points. If you had to pick a bowler, who would it be?
I think bowler from this, I would definitely be Bumrah.
Bumrah. Actually, Bumrah could also.
Avesh Khan also.
Yeah.
Who?
Because he's doing well also. Avesh Khan.
Who is
From
that?
Lucknow. Avesh Khan.
Avesh Khan. Yeah.
Avesh. Yeah, he's also doing very well. That's why
I think everybody wants Bumrah because I think he's a premier bowler. He's made a mark for himself. I mean, he's done so well. People expect him to get wickets all the time.
Oh, yeah. All right. So here's the big update. Mumbai Indians have won the toss and chosen to bowl first. Mumbai has won the toss and have chosen to bowl first. That's the toss update. ब्रावॉन स्टेडियम में हो रहा है ये मैच. मैं आपको बता दूं कि एवरेज स्कोर जो बनता है फर्स्ट टीम से 194 का एवरेज है. सो लालन सर, गुड चॉइस देयर.
Yeah, if you look at it, has become a trend now. Win the toss and bowl first. Yeah,
correct.
Because you know the target, then accordingly you can pace it up, and teams have won that way more often than batting first. But I think it will be a big task for Mumbai Indians, because if the opposition gets more than 200 plus, 210, 215, then the asking rate will be, because then you have to fire somebody at the top. Because if some two guys bat at the top and take the game deep, then only you got a chance. Otherwise, then it will be difficult. But I think there is one change in Mumbai Indians. They have dropped Karen Pollard and they have got Fabian Allen. I think that's an interesting choice. Yeah, because they've got some new phases. Because Pollard is also struggling this season. He has not done well. He's struggling for form. He doesn't look the same what he was earlier last year. So maybe they have given him a break. So go to the drawing board, think positive and come back strongly. But I think Fabian Allen, it is a big shoes to fill, because Pollard, I think he's one of the destroyer, I would say, because when he gets going, he really hammers any bowling. So Fabian Allen has to do something good so that Mumbai Indians can start winning. And that luck factor, what Azhar said, a new guy
Hmm.
might bring some luck to them.
Yeah, I'm back. All right. Sorry about that. Azhar sir, the fact that it's a day game, bowling first, can that decision backfire?
I think hopefully it should not for them actually, because as Lalu said, they have to restrict them to a score of one, maybe 160 or 170. Then Mumbai, I mean, will have no pressure to, I mean, score those runs. But then, as you said, if you score anything close to 200 or maybe 215, the pressure is too much. Because you have to keep the run rate, you have to be ahead of the run rate, and then not lose wickets also. Because the problem, what is happening is, if you see in the last uh, 3 overs or something, Mumbai Indians, the players are batting are the tailenders. So it is very difficult.
Correct.
Like in the last game also, like after that, Karen Pollard, both of them got out the tailenders were batting. So it's very hard to for the tailenders to get runs. Maybe once in a while, the Unatka he hit a six, but I mean every time it cannot happen. So I think Mumbai has to restrict the Lucknow side to almost like 160 or something like that. If they score more than even after close to 190 also, I mean it's not going to be easy for them because they have players who can really hit the ball far. But at the end of the day, it is not only hitting sixes and fours; it is playing with some common sense.
That is true. Common sense shall prevail. Okay, Mumbai has won the toss, selected to bowl first. एक change है वहाँ पे Fabian Allen instead of Karen Pollard. With that, let's have some fun with the guest that we have. It's time for Trivia Tracker, powered by Sky247.net. दिस इज कॉल्ड स्टार गेजिंग बेसिकली पहचान कौन यहाँ पे मैं आपको एक ऐसा चेहरा दिखाऊंगी which has been mingled with two faces. You have to guess the two cricketers. Very simple. As I say, you got the game.
Oh.
Here I'm asking you. This is star gazing. I'm asking you guess the two stars that are here.
Oh.
बताएं लालचंद सर और अजहर सर कौन है ये दो स्टार्स?
एक
टिक टिक
मुझे
वन.
अश्विन लगता है पता है. It's difficult.
Ashwin is the wrong answer.
No.
I don't know.
आप कुछ तो आइडिया बताएं मुझे. एक राइजिंग यंग स्टार है जिनकी अभी हमने बात भी की है. हाँ, जिनकी अभी हमने बात भी की है.
तिलक
तिलक
वर्मा.
वर्मा?
चलिए, तिलक एक है. तिलक वर्मा वन. Who's the other? Okay, I'm going to give you 5 more seconds.
Who's the other one?
5 more seconds, sir.
I don't know.
Okay, the answer is Badoni, Ayush Badoni and Tilak Verma. So those were the two stars in stargazing. Chaliye, next I have a couple of questions here. Question is, which Indian cricket superstar was also an under-14 roller skating champion? ये सवाल है और आपके ऑप्शंस है राहुल द्रविड़, MS धोनी, युवराज सिंह या रोहित शर्मा. Which Indian cricket superstar was also an under-14 roller skating champion? It's a very interesting question.
I think Dhoni.
Nahin?
युवराज.
Yuvraj is the right answer. Yuvraj Singh is the right answer. Under 14 roller skating champion was Yuvraj. All right, so you get 1 point and a half point from the previous question because I'm guessing Lachan sir said Tilak Verma. Come on, Asasi, you got to put some socks. You got the next question coming your way. All right, next question. Which bowler was the fastest one to have taken a hat trick with all clean bowl dismissals in ODIs? Which bowler was the first one to have taken a hat trick with all clean bowl dismissals in ODIs? That is the question.
Any clues? You are giving any clues?
1987 World Cup.
We were playing.
1987 World Cup.
Chetan Sharma.
Correct! Correct! Chetan Sharma, New Zealand is the right answer. Chetan Sharma, New Zealand, 1987 World Cup. And this one goes to Azhar sir, but again, Lachan sir wins this by a whisker.
So I could guess.
Yes, absolutely. So he wins it by a whisker, but 0.5 because of the first one. But my producer said keep it a tie. So it is a tie then.
We are good friends. We don't mind.
We are good friends. We have to be.
All right, then it's a tie, and of course, there's going to be more that we're going to do here when it comes to Trivia Tracker. So we'll definitely have a winner. But that is the end of the Trivia Tracker, powered by Sky247.net. Okay, we conducted a poll with our audience. तो पोल का क्वेश्चन क्या था और क्या रिजल्ट है उसका उसके ऊपर एक नजर डालते हैं. Which Mumbai young gun has impressed you more? तिलक वर्मा को मिले 41% and Rohit Brevis को मिले 59%. Your take? I'll start with you, Azhar sir. Which youngster from Mumbai Indians has impressed you the most?
Well, I think Tilak Verma impressed me a lot because I already with Brevis, people have already spoken about him that he is this player, that player, baby, AB, and all this. But I think Tilak Verma is really, playing first time with IPL is really done.
Yes. All right. So Tilak Verma for sure.
There will be good competition between those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they both are very talented. But see, people are talking about Brevis. Yes, he's a very good talent. But now, if you look at the wickets are good wickets. Once the turning wickets come, then we'll talk about Brevis, how he plays. Yeah, that's why I will go for Tilak Verma.
All right, so Tilak Verma, both our experts go for Tilak Verma. एक छोटा सा correction है यहाँ पे. Karen Pollard is playing. So let me tell you the Mumbai team. It's Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Deval Brevis, Tilak Verma, Surya Kumar Yadav, Karen Pollard, Fabian Allen, Jaydev Unadkat, Ashwin, Jasprit Bumrah, and Taimil Mills. So that is the Mumbai team that is playing today. अगर लखनऊ की टीम की बात करें तो केएल राहुल, क्विंटन डिकॉक, मनीष पांडे, दीपक हुडा, स्टॉइनिस, बदोनी, जेसन होल्डर, कृणाल पांड्या, Chamira, and Avesh Khan and Ravi Bishnoi. So from Mumbai, we've got no Thampi. So that is the change. Karen Pollard is playing. So that is the team. They need a big hitter like that today for sure, Lalchan sir.
Yeah,
they need Karen Pollard in that.
Yeah, he will come because he just needs one innings just to change the course of the game. Because if he gets going, I think Mumbai Indians will be happy for him. So hopefully, this is the game for him as well as for Mumbai Indians to change the momentum of the team as well, and for a personal batting as well, because he has not been performing. So hopefully, this inning can bring him that go-to thing, so that he goes well in the following games to come.
That's right. Okay. Azhar se kiska pad raha bhari hai, Mumbai ki chaat ya Lucknow ke kebab?
I think if you see the past performances, I think Lucknow has a good chance.
All right, so that's clear cut. The man's gone with his brain. It is going to be Lucknow. What about you, Lalchan sir? Want to see Mumbai win?
I know. See, I'm a Mumbaikar, so I always back Mumbai team. But the way they are playing, I think it doesn't look good that they will start getting some points. But my heart feels that I think today Mumbai will win because they have won the toss, and hopefully they try and get Lucknow out early so that they can win the first game. So I'll go with Mumbai.
Okay, then we've got a bit of a competition right here in the house. Lalchan sir versus Azhar sir. Azhar sir has gone with Lucknow. Lalchan sir going with Mumbai. देखिए वक्त ही बताएगा क्या मुंबई जीत पाएगा ये ब्रह्मोस स्टेडियम में. ये बहुत बड़ा सवाल बिकॉज पहली जीत तलाश रहे हैं वो इस इंडियन T20 लीग में. क्या होगा वो आज एक ही तरीका है जानने का. आप जाके मैच देखिए, हम भी देखते हैं और आपसे मिलेंगे फिर से दूसरे मैच के पहले 6:45 PM. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thanks a lot for joining in.
Thank you, Ridhima.
Thank you. Good luck to the two teams. See you soon.